in Bitcoin. Now, we did do a Bitcoin chart a few weeks ago, but obviously, as you can see, a few weeks ago, the market was quite okay. It has gone mad. Now, this is a weekly chart of the Bitcoin. You can remember, everybody remembers what happened in December of 2017. Okay, we reached the dizzy heights up here of, my God, where was we? Nearly to 20,000 at 19,891. And obviously, we've reached highs of 18, where have we gone? Over here, 18,450. So we're off of the all-time high in Bitcoin. Let me show you what Bitcoin was doing in the last X amount of years. That's right, nothing. But all of a sudden, you know, Bitcoin at the beginning of 2017 went off like a rocket. Now, I like the idea of cryptocurrencies. I think it's the way forward. I think that, you know, when I'm not here anymore, cryptocurrencies are going to be the thing for the future. I do. But where are they going to go this week? Now, we have become extremely overbought on the weekly charts, without a shadow of a doubt we have. There is no reason though why we can't go up. I've got a trend line that's intersecting at 18,520. Okay, now if I look at the daily chart, we've just been, or we can look at it here, we've just been dithering about really on the stochastic side of it. And you can see since October, since where we had that bull run, the market has been flatlining with stochastics up at over 90%. So the market is overcooked, but showing zero signs of wanting to trade lower. Now, when things don't want to trade lower, where can they go? They can only go higher, okay? But there are things that you've got to understand when trading this market, and those of us who were trading in 2017, January 2018, know this all too well. When things get posted on social media or Facebook, well, the same thing, but you know, LinkedIn, anything like that, newspapers, TV, that this thing is going to, I've heard $300,000, okay, within the next 4 years. Well, it's not going to go up in a straight line, that's for sure. Now, obviously, $20,000 is a big round figuritis for Bitcoin, as opposed to also being the 2017 December high. Now, what I've done, when things do go into uncharted territory, there are obviously criteria that you can do that will allow you to look for where the market is going to go next. And these come in form of previous channel lines, Fibonacci extensions, pivot point analysis, because pivot points are only mathematical calculations on what the previous time frame has done. So if you're looking at a weekly chart, you'd be looking at weekly pivot points, daily pivot points. But what it does, these pivot points project where the market has mathematical calculated resistance. I'll just stick with resistance at the moment, because we are looking for resistance in Bitcoin if we break 20,000 bucks. So where can we go? So we use these indicators, and you can see there I've got all my Fibonacci extensions with the levels by their side. And what you want to do is to tie it in with weekly pivot points. So for this week, we've got, because we had a narrow trading week last week, so for this week, the pivot point is 15,762, right? So we're way above that. So we look to the next level. We looked at it's gone above the R1, which is 16,683. We've gone above the R2, which is 17,402, and we are currently just in front of the midpoint line at 18,222. Our close has been, our current price is 18,035. We have been higher, but we haven't yet sustained that move at the moment. You've then got the R3 at 19,042, the midpoint 19,862, and the R4 at 26,82. So we're looking between the midpoint of the R3 and R4 and the R4. That's what we're looking for. Okay. So then you try to marry those in with what you can see on your Fibonacci's. So your 23.6 is coming in at 2657, and your R4 is 2682. So if we do break above the previous all-time high, here is where you've got really good level for the market to naturally be attracted to. Two reasons for it: R4, 23.6 fib. So bear that in mind and use these levels in conjunction with your weekly pivot points. Now if we have, it's only Wednesday, if we have a very strong week this week, what you can do is by tomorrow quickly do pivot points on the market moves thus far this week. That will give you a different set of pivot points, but with more emphasis on the resistance levels, which you will be able to time better with your Fibonacci extensions. So you've got the weekly and the daily charts both looking extremely overdone. The weekly turn is the one we're looking for, because as I showed you before, the daily one just flatlined. So you want to, you don't want to see that since the beginning of October, it's been at 93% overbought. That's fine. But we want to look at the weeklies, because when they turn, then that will cause, I think, the corrective move lower. I'm looking at a correction. If you draw this line on, I'm always one for just drawing lines on randomly, and because I'm nosy and I like to know. So let's just take that line. So if we do bulk at the previous all-time highs, we should be able to come down towards the moving averages, but also this line coming in here. Okay, so anything between 12,000 or 12,500 and 11,800, I think will be a good place to go in and buy Bitcoin. Okay, good luck. I hope I haven't bored you too much. I will catch you all later on the desk.